Everything is energy, and this includes the connection you share with this person, the bond that defies logic and transcends the limitations of physical distance and conscious awareness. You have been feeling the pull, the tension, the inexplicable knowing that something exists between you beyond what the material world can explain, and you are absolutely correct in this sensing. Modern quantum physics has revealed what ancient mystics have always known, that all matter is energy vibrating at different frequencies, and that these energetic fields interact, influence, and respond to one another in ways that collapse the illusion of separation. What happens within your energetic field creates ripples that extend outward into the quantum field you share with this person, affecting their reality before a single word is spoken, before a single action is taken. This is not metaphor or wishful thinking, but the fundamental nature of reality itself, the mechanics of consciousness operating beneath the surface of ordinary perception. Carl Jung understood this deeply when he explored the concept of synchronicity, those meaningful coincidences that reveal the hidden connections threading through our lives, showing us that we are all participants in a unified field of consciousness. You and this person are entangled at the quantum level, your energies intertwined in ways that make true separation impossible, and every shift in your frequency sends waves through the invisible architecture that binds you together. They feel you even when they are not consciously aware of feeling you, their nervous system responding to changes in your energetic signature like a tuning fork resonating with a matching pitch. Last night, something fundamental shifted in your energy field, a recalibration that rippled outward through the quantum substrate connecting you to them, and they felt it in their body, in their dreams, in the sudden restlessness that pulled them from sleep. This video will reveal the scientific and spiritual mechanics of what is happening between you right now, the energetic processes that are orchestrating events beyond your conscious control. Right energy is everything in the comments to align your frequency with this truth and accelerate the manifestation process. The dynamic between you and this person has operated according to precise energetic laws that govern all electromagnetic systems, the same principles that explain why like charges repel and opposite charges attract. When you chase someone energetically, through your thoughts, your desperate hopes, your emotional need, you create a forward pressure that pushes against their energy field, and the natural response of any system under pressure is to move away from the source of that pressure to restore equilibrium. This is not personal rejection but physics operating through human consciousness, the universe maintaining balance in the energetic exchange between two beings. Your longing, however genuine and heartfelt, creates an energetic deficit within you, a frequency of lack that broadcasts itself into the quantum field, and energy naturally flows away from states of depletion towards states of fullness and abundance. This is why the person who cares less appears to hold all the power in romantic dynamics, why the one who is willing to walk away becomes magnetically irresistible to the one who cannot. It is the physics of scarcity and abundance playing out through human relationship, the electromagnetic dance of masculine and feminine energies seeking their natural polarity. Masculine energy, regardless of biological gender, moves toward challenge and away from ease, thrives on the pursuit of what seems just beyond reach. Feminine energy, equally regardless of biological gender, receives and draws inward, becomes magnetic through the power of its own completeness. When you chase, you abandon the feminine principle of receptive magnetism and enter masculine forward motion. And if this person naturally occupies masculine energy, you create a same-pole repulsion that makes closeness impossible. But understand this: the moment you stop pushing forward energetically, the moment you withdraw your desperate seeking and return to your own center, the entire electromagnetic field between you reorganizes itself instantaneously. The vacuum created by your energetic withdrawal creates a pull, a negative pressure that draws them toward you through the same physical principles that cause water to rush into empty space. Energy flows towards scarcity, and when you make yourself energetically scarce by redirecting your focus inward, you become the scarcity they instinctively move toward. This is not manipulation, but alignment with the natural laws governing energetic exchange, the physics of attraction operating exactly as it was designed to operate. Nature abhors a vacuum and rushes to fill it with equal force to the emptiness that was created, and this fundamental principle governs everything from the pressure systems that generate weather patterns to the energetic dynamics between two human beings who share a quantum connection. For weeks or months or perhaps even years, you have been directing tremendous amounts of your life force energy toward this person, filling the space between you with your thoughts, your hopes, your emotional investment, and this constant energetic output has established a pattern in the quantum field that connects you. They have grown accustomed to receiving this energy from you, whether they consciously recognized it or not. Their system calibrated to expect the steady stream of attention and focus you have been providing. The moment you stop, not out of anger or manipulation, but out of genuine reclamation of your own energy, a void appears in the space where your energetic output used to flow, and this void creates a suction force that they feel immediately in their body and nervous system. It manifests as restlessness, as sudden thoughts of you appearing without context, as the eerie feeling that something has changed even though nothing visible has shifted in the external world. The energetic rebalancing happens instantaneously because energy moves at the speed of consciousness itself, which is faster than light, faster than any physical phenomenon we can measure with instruments. Carl Jung observed that what we resist persists, that the energy we pour into pushing something away actually binds us more tightly to it through the law of psychic attention, and the inverse is equally true. When you stop resisting their absence, when you stop fighting against reality as it currently exists, they show up in your experience because you are no longer energetically holding them away through the resistance itself. Detachment does not mean you stop caring, but rather that you stop needing a specific outcome to feel whole, and this shift from lack consciousness to abundance consciousness changes everything about what you broadcast into the quantum field you share. They begin to sense that you have become complete without them, that you have accessed an internal source of wholeness they cannot provide, and this completeness becomes magnetic in a way your previous neediness could never be. The vacuum pulls them toward you not through your action, but through your strategic withdrawal, through the space you create by returning your precious life force energy back to its rightful owner, yourself. This is when the shift occurs in consciousness, when the old pattern collapses and a new energetic template begins to form, one in which you occupy the position of power because you are no longer depleting yourself in service of connection. You and this person function as energetic mirrors for one another, reflecting back the frequencies you are each broadcasting into the quantum field, and this mirror effect operates through the principle of resonance that governs how vibrating systems interact with one another in the physical world. Everything you perceive in them, the withdrawal, the confusion, the inability to commit, is a direct reflection of the frequency pattern you are transmitting, the energetic signature you are embodying in each moment. If you vibrate at the frequency of lack, of incompleteness, of needing them to make you whole, their energy field mirrors this back to you by withdrawing, by being unavailable, by reflecting your own internal state of scarcity. This is not punishment but precise energetic mechanics, the universe showing you through external circumstance what is happening in your internal landscape. When you heal the wounds within yourself, when you shift from lack consciousness to wholeness consciousness, their energy field must respond because you are no longer transmitting the frequency that was generating their withdrawal pattern. You cannot change them through force of will or manipulation or desperate pleading, but you can change yourself, and that changes everything about the energetic exchange between you because the mirror can only reflect what stands before it. The moment you stop being the person who needs them desperately, they stop being the person who runs from your need. The moment you embody completeness, they begin to see you as complete and therefore worthy of the commitment they have been withholding. This is the power of the mirror effect, the recognition that all relationship is ultimately relationship with self, that every person in your reality is reflecting back to you the vibrational frequency you are transmitting into the quantum field. If you want them to change, you must become the change in your own frequency first, and their response will follow automatically because energy always seeks equilibrium and balance. They are not separate from you, but an extension of your own consciousness projected outward into form, and when you shift the projection at its source, the entire external manifestation reorganizes itself to match. The new frequency. This is the deepest truth of conscious manifestation, the secret hidden in plain sight within every spiritual teaching throughout human history. Carl Jung discovered what he termed the collective unconscious, a layer of psyche that exists beneath individual awareness and connects all human beings through shared archetypal patterns, symbols, and energetic frequencies that transcend the boundaries of separate identity. You and this person are connected through this deeper stratum of consciousness, linked through invisible threads that operate beyond the level of ego and personality. And this connection explains the telepathic experiences you have been having, the way their name appears in your awareness moments before they text you, the dreams in which you meet them in landscapes that feel more real than waking life. These are not coincidences, but evidence of the quantum entanglement that binds you together in the unified field of consciousness that underlies all apparent separation. Your souls speak to one another in a language the conscious mind cannot translate, communicating through symbols, through synchronicities, through the subtle energetic shifts that ripple through the field you share. They know things about you they have no logical way of knowing, and you know things about them that were never spoken aloud, because you are both drawing from the same pool of shared consciousness, accessing information through the quantum field rather than through ordinary sensory channels. This is the true nature of soul connection, the recognition that you have been linked across lifetimes and dimensions, playing out patterns that began long before your current physical incarnations. If you are ready to understand the advanced mechanics of this spiritual connection, subscribe now to access the deeper teachings that will transform your understanding of consciousness itself. The synchronicities you are experiencing right now, seeing their name everywhere, hearing songs that remind you of them at impossibly perfect moments, encountering symbols and signs that point directly to your connection. These are not the universe playing tricks but consciousness communicating with itself, the quantum field organizing reality to reflect the energetic alignment that is building between you. Your higher selves are in constant communication even when your egos are silent or separated by physical distance, negotiating the terms of this connection at levels far beyond what the rational mind can comprehend. Trust what you are receiving through these non-ordinary channels of awareness, for they are more accurate than any words spoken in the realm of physical reality. Detachment is perhaps the most misunderstood principle in manifestation teaching, confused with not caring or giving up, when in truth it represents the highest form of energetic mastery available to conscious beings navigating the physical realm. Detachment does not mean you stop loving this person or stop hoping for reconnection, but rather that you release your desperate grip on one specific outcome, that you free yourself from the painful attachment to needing reality to look a certain way for you to experience wholeness and peace. This is outcome independence, the state of being equally content regardless of whether they return or disappear, because your sense of self and your access to joy no longer depend on their choices or actions. The manifestation paradox states that you can only receive what you no longer need, that the universe responds to your energetic signature rather than your conscious desires, and neediness broadcasts a frequency that repels the very thing you are seeking. When you stop needing this specific person to complete you, when you access wholeness through connection to your own divine nature, you align with the frequency of receiving relationship, because you have energetically become the person who already has what they desire. This is not backwards logic but precise energetic science, the recognition that consciousness creates reality, and that needy consciousness creates the experience of lack, while abundant consciousness creates the experience of receiving. Detachment allows you to hold your desire lightly, to want connection without clutching at it, to remain open to receiving without contracting around one single pathway through which that receiving must arrive. This spaciousness in your energy field creates room for the universe to deliver to you in ways your limited human perspective could never orchestrate, through synchronicities and perfect timing that seem miraculous, but are simply the natural operation of consciousness when it is not constrained by desperate attachment to specific outcomes. The universe is far more creative than your strategic mind, infinitely more capable of arranging circumstances for your highest good, but it can only work its magic when you step back from micromanaging reality and allow quantum Poe's abilities to collapse into the timeline that serves your evolution most powerfully. True detachment is empowerment, the recognition that you are the source of your own fulfillment rather than the recipient of fulfillment that must come from external sources, and this shift in identification changes everything about what you attract into your experience. You will know your frequency has shifted not through dramatic external events, but through subtle internal markers that signal the reorganization of your energetic field at the quantum level. the quiet but unmistakable sense that something fundamental has changed in how you relate to yourself and to reality itself. The first sign appears as peace where there was previously anxiety, a deep settling in your nervous system that no longer spikes into panic when you think about this person or your future together. You find yourself capable of going hours or even entire days without obsessively checking your phone for messages, without replaying conversations in your mind searching for hidden meanings, without contracting in fear around the possibility that they might never return. This peace is not resignation or numbness but genuine alignment with the present moment, the recognition that you are whole and complete regardless of their choices. And this internal shift creates immediate changes in the quantum field because your energetic broadcast has transformed from lack to abundance. Clarity follows peace, a sudden knowing about what you truly want and what you are no longer willing to tolerate, boundaries that arise naturally from self-respect rather than from wounded protection. You become genuinely focused on your own life, your own projects, your own growth and pleasure, not as a strategy to make them jealous, but because your attention has naturally returned to its rightful home in your own experience. The external confirmations begin to appear as synchronicities that seem too perfect to be coincidence, opportunities arriving in your career or social life that feel aligned with your highest path, new people entering your reality who mirror back your increased value and worth. You stop looking for this person everywhere you go, stop scanning crowds and social media for signs of their presence, and paradoxically this is precisely when you start seeing them everywhere. Their name appearing on billboards and in conversations, mutual acquaintances mentioning them casually, the universe reflecting back to you that your energies are in alignment and communication is happening at the quantum level. When you stop looking for them consciously, you start seeing them everywhere unconsciously, and this is the signal that your frequency has shifted into the manifestation zone, the energetic bandwidth in which physical reality begins to reorganize itself to match your new internal state. Your dreams may become more vivid and filled with symbolism related to reunion, or you may receive intuitive downloads about their emotional state even though you have not spoken. These are not signs you are obsessing, but evidence that you have accessed the quantum field where true communication happens, where souls speak and consciousness exchanges information faster than light itself can travel through space. The moment your frequency shifts, they feel it in their body before their conscious mind can create a story to explain the sensation, a sudden restlessness or anxiety or inexplicable pull toward you that seems to come from nowhere. If they have been the one withdrawing or running from the intensity of connection, they experience your energetic withdrawal as panic, a primal fear response that arises when they sense they are losing access to the energy supply you have been providing, and this panic often manifests as sudden reaching out after weeks or months of silence. Their ego cannot admit that they need you or that they have been taking your energy for granted, so they create socially acceptable excuses for contact. They were just thinking about you, or they happened upon something that reminded them of you, or they have a practical question that could easily be answered through a simple internet search. But underneath these surface excuses lies the energetic truth. They feel the vacuum your withdrawal has created, and their system is instinctively moving to fill that void and restore the familiar energetic pattern between you. Or alternatively, if they are someone who operates from a more healed frequency themselves, they sense your peace and your newfound wholeness, and this completeness becomes magnetic to them because healed energy attracts healed response, consciousness recognizing itself in another and moving toward the recognition. They may not be able to articulate what has changed, but they feel drawn to you in a way they could not explain to their rational mind, compelled to reach out or to show up in your physical reality through synchronistic encounters that feel orchestrated by forces beyond human control. This is the magnetic pull of healed energy, the way authenticity and self-possession become irresistible to anyone capable of recognizing and receiving them, and it represents the shift from chasing to being chased, from depletion to magnetism. They begin to wonder why they ever pulled away, to question the fears and stories that created distance between you, and in their private moments they feel the pull of your energy like gravity affecting objects in space. Share this video with someone who needs to understand these energetic mechanics, who is waiting for their person and needs to know that the shift is already happening beneath the surface of appearances. The process of manifesting this connection into physical reality requires that you focus all of your precious life force energy on yourself rather than on them, that you become so absorbed in your own growth and pleasure and creative expression that they become peripheral rather than central to your daily experience. This is not a strategy or manipulation, but the natural operation of manifestation law, the recognition that you cannot attract from a place of lack, but only from a place of overflow and abundance. Your frequency must rise not through thinking about them or visualizing reunion, but through engaging with activities and practices that bring you genuine joy independent of any romantic outcome, through connecting with your own divine nature and remembering that you are source energy in physical form. Become the person who does not need them to feel complete, who has accessed internal sources of validation and love that no external person can provide or take away. And this version of you becomes irresistible to them, because you embody the frequency they are unconsciously seeking in all their relationships and experiences. The universe responds not to your words or your conscious desires, but to your energetic signature, to the frequency you are transmitting in each moment through your thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and actions. When you raise your frequency through self-focus and self-love, you align with timelines in which this person either returns transformed and ready to meet you at your new level, or someone even more aligned appears to match the new frequency you are broadcasting. Stop trying to control how and when they return, stop manipulating circumstances to engineer contact, and instead trust that consciousness is reorganizing reality behind the scenes in ways your limited human perspective cannot track or understand. Your only job is to maintain your new frequency, to keep choosing yourself, to keep rising into the highest version of your being regardless of what they are doing or not doing in their own process. The manifestation happens automatically when the frequency matches the desire, when your internal state aligns with the reality you wish to experience. And this alignment cannot be forced through effort, but only through surrender to the natural intelligence that governs all creation and knows precisely how to deliver to you what serves your highest evolution. Quantum physics reveals that multiple timelines exist simultaneously in the field of infinite possibility, and your consciousness chooses which timeline collapses into your experienced reality through the frequency you hold most consistently and powerfully. In one timeline, this person returns to you transformed and ready to build the relationship you have been envisioning, having done their own healing work and released whatever fears were preventing them from showing up fully in connection with you. In another timeline, they fade from your experience entirely, and someone far more aligned with your evolved frequency appears, someone who recognizes your worth immediately and requires no convincing or chasing, someone who meets you with the same level of consciousness and commitment you have cultivated within yourself. Both timelines lead to your happiness. Both paths serve your highest good, because you have done the internal work necessary to thrive regardless of which external circumstances manifest. This is the ultimate freedom available to conscious beings, the recognition that you are the creator of your reality rather than the victim of external circumstances, that your energy determines which quantum possibilities collapse into form in your physical experience. The universe is responding to your frequency in every moment, delivering to you experiences that match your energetic broadcast with perfect precision. And when you shift from lack to abundance, from need to wholeness, from desperation to detachment, you change everything about what you attract and allow into your reality. You are not waiting passively for them to choose you, but actively creating the reality in which you are chosen, in which you are valued, in which you experience the love and commitment you have always desired. Trust the process unfolding in dimension. As you cannot see with physical eyes, trust the intelligence organizing synchronicities and encounters behind the scenes. Trust your own power to create the life and love you desire through the consistent cultivation of your energetic frequency. They felt the shift last night because shifts in consciousness travel instantly through the quantum field, and what they do with that feeling is their choice, but what you do with your own energy is yours. Choose wisely. Choose yourself. Choose the frequency of the life you wish to live rather than the frequency of the lack you have been experiencing. The universe is listening, consciousness is responding, and your reality is reorganizing itself right now to match the new frequency you are broadcasting into the field of infinite creative potential.